We're rolling.
Let's go. Hello and welcome everybody to In the Guard, right? Your one-stop shop for all things combat sports, MMA, boxing, or whatever you call what's going on later on tonight with Jake Paul and Tyrone Woodley. Circus fights, we'll call it. Where it all started, kind of. Most importantly, off the heels of UFC Fight Night. I don't know the number of Fight Night, but it's definitely Vegas 35, Barbosa versus Giga Chikadze. And the tough finale.
Well, I think we got to pause for a second and congratulate you guys on your pink belts.
Oh.
Well, we got graduation over here this week.
Yeah. Me and Tony got belt promoted in jiu-jitsu this weekend. Both got bumped up to blue belts. It was been a long process, especially with COVID kind of cutting in our training.
I was thinking about doing some of the math, and it's lots and lots of hours.
Yeah.
On that mat.
Yeah, lots of pain and sweat and smelling some spots on some people you don't want to smell. Maybe not the cleanest geese. Some people, it's all right. It happens. But it's a bit of fun ride, and hopefully the first promotion of a lot of them. Try and go all the way up to the top. So yeah, it was a good day. Good day. I told you of all my life in sports, especially achievements, whatever I've done, it's the proudest thing I've done. I think it's the hardest accomplishment in any, like in football, powerlifting, all the sports I played growing up. This is the hardest to get to the fucking blue belt, for sure. But that being said, we'll talk about some guys who definitely does not have a blue belt in a dark choke yesterday. Giga Chikadze versus Edson Jr. Barbosa, and Giga Chikadze shocking the world, kind of. Fucking up my night, DraftKings wise, and fucking icing the veteran Edson Barbosa. No one really gave him a shot, including both of us, right? We both thought this was Edson's fight to win.
Yeah, and I just from the start of that fight, I didn't feel good about it. Chikadze looked a step ahead.
He was definitely faster. He was
landing the more impactful shots. He was getting the body more.
Putting the money in the bank, and that's where it was. I think he was slowing in the third round too. Yeah. He won round one, hands out. I think Edson took round two. It was kind of 1-1 going in that third round. And Giga was kind of breathing heavy, though. He's heavy, but I think, though, the damage that he had put on to Edson earlier in that fight, even though in the second round, between he said the body and the legs, even though Edson was checking those leg kicks, that shit still fucking hurts.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to match Giga up with something. If they want to continue to do the striking thing, something in his wheelhouse, it's got to be somebody that can out-volley him with speed. So if they him calling out Max Holloway, I don't know if he can keep up with Max. Maybe if he went to the body and slowed him down.
Right.
I think he might have more weapons.
And Max has been near a lot of guys who couldn't finish him, too.
Yeah.
And I don't think Giga can last 5 rounds with
Max. I think he'll get out now.
Because Giga, you're in the realm now where you're fighting 5-rounders now. Mm-hmm. You're fighting 5-rounders pretty much every time, unless you're on a pay-per-view. But if you're fighting a fight now, you're here to be the main event. No, I'm going forward.
Match him up with
Calvin Cater, Ige, Danny Ige will be a good one. I'd rather see Danny Ige, because Danny Ige can bang with him, and he'll go for the takedown. One of the advantages I think in this fight, in retrospect, I thought Barbosa could strike just as well as him. Right, they're going to hit, but Giga is a much sharper striker, and if Edson didn't want to take this to the ground or make it messy at all, Giga was going to piece him apart. And I don't know how I didn't see that read beforehand. It was evident yesterday. Although, being completely honest, I think it was another stop.
I mean, I think he was going to finish him.
I think he was too, but he didn't finish him. But he did. He was in the same position he just was at when he went and grabbed that leg.
Stumbling over.
We watched Chuck Congo just a week ago being, fucking the shit beat out of him.
Plenty of times.
Right, and coming back and win fights. Let the fight end. Yeah. Let the fight end. Give him a couple shots on the floor. I mean, we knew, we'll talk about it later too, the Al Hassan fight. We knew that one was over, right? There was no question of this one. Edson's still standing up. He's trying to get to himself. The thing's supposed to be, intelligently defending yourself. He wasn't, unintelligently defending himself. Yeah, he was rocked. And yeah, fucking Giga was going in for the kill.
It's kind of the same thing earlier in the night with Daniel Stewart.
Yeah, definitely. Was it Herzog? I know Herzog was in the middle of that.
No,
what do you know about Tony? He doesn't know when to stop. He's either too late or too early, for sure. Again, it doesn't take away from Giga was going to win the fight. I think he would have ended it, but I still think he stopped it just a touch earlier. And I think Edson probably would agree with me, and most fighters probably would too. Let him take me out. I want to die on my sword. But yeah, Giga, top 10. He already was in the top 10, but now he's going to start hitting that title picture. He wanted a title shot. I think it's a big jump, a real big jump. If he doesn't get one of those big guys, so I don't know what's going on with Cater. He's kind of been under the radar for a while. An interesting fight I was thinking about was Arnold Allen.
Yeah.
He just
He's
came up
fighting
with,
though,
I don't know if he is or not. I just thought he'd be a fun matchup for him too because he can kind of mix with that wrestling too. I don't want to see him fight another striker. I want to see him out of his comfort zone and fight a high level guy who can grapple.
I think Barboza kind of just holds on to that gatekeeper around for a few more fights.
I'm wondering if
he's got some cage age. You know?
I'm wondering if the 145 hurts his durability. Like he didn't look like winded. He's winning because he can kick in the fucking stomach. That's it wasn't like he gas. He's getting kicked in the fucking gut. And you're gonna lose energy from that way. But durability could be an issue that when you cut that weight, especially getting up there in age. He's got wars.
You're saying like he has easier time getting the 145 because he had a hard time keeping.
Right. Yeah. So I don't think. But is he still? You still could be less durable without that extra fat. That fat, even in your brain, helps you hook, absorb that contact a lot more. And again, he's been in wars. Name an easy fight Edson Barboza's had, especially in the last 10 years. He's been the cream of the crop at 155, probably the best division. I think he's fighting these beast heavy featherweights. So it might just be close to that for Edson. Because again, he could fight for a long time if you want and beat some guys for sure. But do you want to be that guy? You're Edson Barboza. You were in the title picture forever. You have a bunch of finishes, all kinds of that's that. He's the only guy to finish somebody with the legs, body, and head on kicks.
We're just saying, we're talking about pay, right? Like if they're getting paid what they probably should be getting paid, they shouldn't have to fight this much. Right. But it's like because how long does their money really stretch? Exactly. I'd imagine a lot of these guys are paycheck to paycheck.
Most of them.
You put in 10 years and you're still right. You can't retire.
And we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the day too. Why I think someone's smarter than the average fighter. Mm-hmm. But again, it was fun. I mean, again, this totally fucked me royally on DraftKings. If Edson Barboza won, I would have me a great night. But it was a fun fight to watch. It was a great performance. But again, it's no more question marks. That guy is legit. He is legit.
All right, let's go to
that's a fun fight.
This was an interesting fight for sure. You got Gilbert Urbina coming in on short notice to take on Brian Battle.
Or was it Brian Battle coming in?
No, it was Urbina.
Okay, so Urbina.
Urbina takes on Gore from the tough finale. Gore, the kind of runaway favorite to win the competition. So I think Pooh Bear got himself a little bit of lucky.
Didn't seem that way in the first round, though.
Well, but Urbina came out the way you should on short notice. I got 10 days notice on this fight. I don't know what kind of fight shape he was in, to cut how it was. It was like, I got to get this guy out early. And he came at him crazy on top, mauling him, lazy to get a finish. Right. Had an even ground pound at one point, too. But give Battle his credit. He survived it. And in the second round, he ended up finishing him with himself. Yeah. With that rear naked choke. I am disappointed that Urbina tapped. Very disappointed. It's a rear naked choke. You're fighting for your life. It's tough.
For a contract.
You only there on short notice. Like, it wasn't like you earned yourself. So it's not like, oh, I made a name for myself during tough. I have a chance to do this. Like, you just luckily got called to come in there. It's your shot. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. The rear naked choke's not that bad.
The third brother to lose. Remember, he's the third one.
He came close, though, man. He came out. It was kind of tough for these guys. We'll go funny, no pun intended, but to follow the Tercios Heisman fight, right? Mm-hmm. This season of Tough, I didn't watch this closely. I started like the first few episodes into it and kind of tailed off. I don't think there's a champion in this group, in any of them. Even Gore, I don't think any of them really end up being big picture, guys. I think the Contender Series is another place where the top fighters come from. But it was fun and good for Battle. He gets himself his contract. He gets in there. He does grow. I have to see Battle, and it's kind of similar to what he's doing, like a Caceres type.
Maybe.
Make that level fighter, But again, good fight. Urbina almost pulled it off. This next one here, fight of the night.
Non-stop.
Fight of the night. Possibly fight of the year.
Yeah.
It'll be on the list.
World peace out of it.
Yeah, Tercios is a strange character for sure. Even his cadence when he speaks, like I don't know if he does that on purpose or it's just his natural. This is character he wants to play, but I mean the story was striking versus grappling, right?
Yeah.
Like Tercios on the feet was as you see 201 strikes to 82. Where Heisen had 10 takedowns?
Yeah, I think Heisen's a better wrestler, but it seemed like Tercios
was a good scrambling and slippery.
Striking on the feet, he was good.
And I think it's part of his build too. Like he's slim, so he's able to slide out of certain situations to get himself up long limbs to kind of keep the spacing on the floor there.
Had fucking impressive gas tanks.
Yeah, I think they could have won 5. They could have won 5 for sure. Split decision for Ricky Tercios getting it done. Again, going into the fucking Shark Tank of 135. Both these guys are going to have some challenges coming up.
Yeah.
Tercios definitely is unorthodox for sure. Like, I don't know against a top level guy that can strike with him where he's going to stand because it's kind of awkward with his striking. Like, even a guy like Manny Martinez who fought earlier in the card probably pieces him up, you know. Whereas Heisen, I think his wrestling base provides a better future for him. Yeah, he
had some moments on the feet.
He has, I'm saying, he has to shore some things up for sure. He's young, like 23 years old or something like that too. So he has a higher ceiling. I think, even though Tercios gets it done and wins the tough, I think long run, Heisen might have a better career. I can see Tercios being some highlight wins, but also some fucking highlight finishes where he gets finished himself too, as well. Whereas Heisen, I think, would be more of a consistent fighter.
All right, let's keep rolling.
All right, so
D-Rod.
This is the biggest disappointment tonight, and no disrespect to D-Rod.
Stop pushing Kevin Lee.
Right, absolutely. Kevin Lee versus D-Rod. Yeah, this new and improved bullshit, Kevin Lee. You're still a good fighter. You're not a shitty fighter at all. You're a good fighter. You are not.
They're going to point out Khabib
and Islam Makhachev, and you know you had some moments in your career, right? You hung in there with Tony Ferguson when Tony Ferguson was the boogeyman, right? You went with RDA. Gas is still an issue. You see, we saw yesterday too. Mm-hmm. Could still wrestle, but at the 170, he's not going to be the biggest guy in the cage anymore. He was the biggest guy in the cage most times at 155. At 170, he's just going to be another guy. And I think that spells bad for his future. Yeah. He might have to go back down to 155.
I think he does.
Yes, because I mean, no disrespect to D-Rod, but he is not.
D-Rod's been on a tear though too, picking up fights here and there, doing what he's got to do.
But D-Rod might be, you know, he's fortunate with people he's been fighting to.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be.
Like Kevin Lee was definitely the best guy he's fought, but again, we're kind of making a comment now. Like Kevin Lee is not that guy. Like, he's not the phenom. He's outside, and his fight IQ is not too well. He doesn't have that. He puts himself in bad decisions.
Every little thing helps, right? Like, you know, assuming these guys are both very trained fighters, so obviously that size comes into play.
Again, you know, D-Rod was able. He took him down. He got on the floor. D-Rod was able to stand up. His get up game was strong, and when he got to the feet, D-Rod just pieced him up. It was
had him on the stinky Kevin Lee leg.
Yeah, a couple times. Yeah. And then the wrestling did get him back, saved him a few times in that situation. But again, it was D-Rod, again, looked head and shoulders above Kevin Lee, and that's kind of shocking. Not that he won. I don't think it was that big of a shock that he won, but he may be, Kevin Lee looked like he was the guy for sure.
D-Rod get a top 10 welterweight opponent, which should be interesting.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Who's in that top 10?
What
we got
Magny,
maybe Neal, right?
Welterweight.
The second over.
Well, I know what I want.
Jingling.
We might end up seeing Dealings fighting my boy.
Well, he's 11.
He's not even. They had him 11.
Yeah, they don't even have him listed here.
He wasn't ranked going.
Maybe he should get like a Ponzinibbio.
Maybe he should get Sean Brady.
Masvidal.
Sean Brady was supposed to fight Kevin Lee.
Yeah.
So why not get Sean Brady, who's undefeated, to D-Rod? Yeah. I'll take that. Or if you want to go a little bit higher, Jeff Neal fight. That'll be a fun fight. They both stand, throw their hands at each other. I like to see a boxing match between Jeff Neal and D-Rod for sure. That'll be a fun matchup. Or the King of Kung Fu, Muslim second.
All right, let's keep rolling.
There's a lot of good matchups for him going forward. Kevin Lee, I think, 155. This was just basically a lot based on Andre Petrosky. Andre Petrosky versus Michael Gilmore.
Strausen took it.
Yeah, but Petrosky's got awkward striking. Definitely good wrestling and grappling. That squeeze is tight for sure once he got it on. But strange striking. Leave himself open. That's why Gilmore was able to fight him up.
He popped a few times.
Yeah, I think they both popped each other.
Yeah. Well, Gilmore apparently was cut like the tryouts for Ultimate Fighter. He was trying to get on. He didn't get on the final cut. And basically, they wanted Petrosky. You look at the fucking guy. He's a marketable looking fucking dude. He's big. He's strong. He's a wrestler. They wanted him to go further in the competition. You can tell. He has connections like with what's his name, Felder, and the whole East Coast crew, and Sabatini. He works with all those guys. So again, they're trying to get him in the door. They're trying to give him a lot of pitch. And early on, Gilmore looked equal to him, and then I think as the fight progressed, it just got further separation until they got that squeeze. Oh, it was a TKO. That's right, the ground and pound. The ground and pound to finish.
Elbows.
Right. Yeah, Petrosky's a big, strong motherfucker. If he keeps working on his striking, he could be. Again, he kind of reminds me of a young Arlovsky. He's like 26, 27. He's on the other side, so he's coming up still. He has some potential. Again, in middleweight, there's not too many guys like Petrosky. A big grappler, strong dude like that. He's like Brunson with better ground and pound. Yeah, better ground and pound for sure. So yeah. So this was his lot, but he knocked it out. I mean, some people don't knock it out of the park. We were talking earlier about Manny Martinez. He got the win, but he didn't get that knock out of the park like we thought he was going to get.
We might be coming upon the spoiler of the night, the surprise of the night.
And yeah, this was definitely the surprise of the night of GM3 Mahmoud Muradov versus Gerald GM3 Mearshart. And you know what? The way it happened really isn't the shock of the night. Because if you thought GM3 was going to win, this is how he would do it. Yeah. But the fact that he was able to get Muradov in that bad position.
And also survived the onslaught.
Right. He was dazed in round one for sure. But he came back and rocked Muradov a few times too. Yeah. Where it just shows GM3 is a fighter. He's a fighter. You put him in there against anybody he can hang his own.
Most submission wins in middleweight history.
Yeah, he's a tough out. And again, we talked about it yesterday. It's kind of impressive that Hamza was able to ice him like that. Yeah. It kind of makes it
seem so crazy when I picked
it puts him in very big perspective how powerful Hamza's fucking hands are.
Yeah.
Because Muradov hit Mearshart hard as fuck. He was dazed a few times. He's able to let us get that sub in round two.
I wonder what this does for Muradov. He was on a tear there for a bit.
I mean, this could be the best thing for him. Yeah. You know, everyone gets that loss every once in a while. He's a younger guy, too, as well. Go back to the drawing board. You can't just let it turn into a 2-3. Then you're in trouble.
Yeah. All right. We'll go to the undercard.
Yeah.
Not a surprise. But
again, this kind of goes to the same level. Mearshart is not as big a surprise. But if Al Hassan was going to win this fight, this is how it's going to happen. A highlight reel knockout. Hassan's been tough on his luck lately, right? He started off hot, knocking people out. His last few fights, he kind of on the other side. I think he's starting to become that guy. You don't pick him when he's the favorite, but an underdog, you like him. Let's say the Chirico kind of the other side too. He's been an underdog his whole life.
There is the kick.
And this lightning fast. Oh, man. And there was no question there. I love the question stoppage. There was no question there. He was disconnected. And, you know, Al Hassan put himself on the list for knockouts of the year for sure. It's up there. 17 seconds into the fight. One strike. How many strikes did he end up hitting? One.
One strike.
One strike. That's all fucking
they cut Chirico? No, not yet.
No, got 100% of his significant strikes.
And what weight is this? 45?
This is 185?
Are we looking
170
at
or
the rankings here?
No, you don't want to rate.
Right. I thought you were talking about
I think it's 185.
Middleweight 185. I mean, that division's kind of shallow. There's not a lot of people in that division.
I think Chirico's only one person win. It's a Joaquin Buckley.
Yeah. But he's a good kind of measuring stick that we got to have. You need those guys. And you need guys, when you're running cards every single week, you need guys that are ready to fight. You can't just cut everybody because you think I'm going to call this guy 2 weeks left or 10 days in. You got to come and fight. You need to have people. So again,
I think to be interviewed after that one.
Yeah, notoriously, Chirico gets mad when the loser doesn't get it. He probably really want to be interviewed after that. What would you talk to me? Yeah. But we got ice. And let's see if this is kind of, fires up Al Hassan for a late run. Yeah. He was on fire there for a while, and he had that bad luck, some personal problems he had to get through. That's, some claims that ended up being false. It kind of took 2 years of his life away from him. But, yeah, he's got knockout power. Now, if he can survive that flurry with him, though, he shows vulnerability for sure. This was the shit show of the fucking night. This might be one of the worst fights I've ever watched in my life.
Swan Sam
not by entertaining wise, because I've seen the least entertaining fights, but the skill level in this fight was so fucking sloppy, terrible. Tony's favorite fighter, Smiling Sam Alvey, versus Wellington. I don't know.
Hey, I picked him 4 times and he's failed me 4 times.
You must be your favorite fighter. Whether you're still picking that motherfucker. Hey, at least I claim my bias for Tony Ferguson, right? I say, yeah, he's one of my favorite guys. But Wellington Turman, I don't know what the fuck he's the product of. He ain't too good himself. This is just basically fucking eye pokes and low blows for 3 fucking rounds. Turman get 2 points taken away from him at one point.
He's got 1.
I think he had 2 points taken away. Yeah, in the 3rd round. I think it was a belt because and that's how Alvey wanted his win because that 2 points taken away. But he knows he lost the fight.
Why do you want to win on a discrepancy?
Man, I mean, I get why you want because you're fucking getting money, and you want that money, the half of your pay. But to really think you won the fight, come on. I think this is bye for Sam Alvey, and if they sent Wellington Thurman packing with him, I would not be fine.
Andy Chirico, big card with the most cuts. Might be this one.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a bunch of question marks on the card in general.
Yeah.
The next guy might get cut too. This card was a bunch of fucking question marks, maybe guys fighting for their job, and a bunch of guys we didn't know who the fuck they were. So it was an interesting night, then to say less. I don't see bright future for either one of these
All right, let's keep going.
Jacoby versus Darren Stewart. Dustin Jacoby, late. I made a big switch in DraftKings. I really started stacking my Jacoby, and it turned out good for me because Jacoby did something that's pretty tough. Finishing Darren Stewart is not an easy thing to do.
It's weird how come we kind of expected it to go. He's going to have the size advantage over Stewart.
Way bigger. Way
decorated
bigger.
kickboxer, too.
Yeah. Well, it started off at MMA, had some bad luck early in his career, and then went back to kickboxing, came back to the Contender Series, and he's been on fire since then. He had the one draw to Kudalaba, and he basically won that fight, because Kudalaba won round 1, 10-8 with like 10 takedowns, some stupid fucking amount of takedowns, and he won the next 2 rounds. He was able to recover from a 10-8 round and get a draw. I call that a win. You know, so Jacoby is kind of making some move there at 205, again, a division that's kind of wide open, right? Champion is on the backside of 3rd. Yeah, and I think it's like 4 out of 5 if you count the draw too. And like you get your champion who's like 38 years old. You got your challenger who's 4 in his 40s.
Jacoby's pretty up there too, right? He's in his 30s.
Yeah, he's not as old as like Jan and fucking Glover though. Yeah. So I'm saying that division is wide open for a guy to make a run, and he might find his way up there. Yeah, there's nobody at 205 that scares you. So other than the top 2, and they're on their way out.
We want to keep rolling here.
Yeah, death to my family.
Mike's cousin got her ass beat.
I would not go there.
Mike was mad. You guys should have seen it.
That's not even true at all. I had way more JJ Aldis in draft, by the way. But anyway, I mean, JJ Aldis came out. Yeah, she came out, did her job. Vanessa DeMott was like the block of her face. Yeah. Like, that's her biggest problem.
Runs in the family.
Yeah, why block when you just take the contact? JJ Aldis came on and did what she's supposed to do, right? They called Vanessa DeMott was like week of. She was supposed to fight in LFA on Friday. They called her, you want to come fight this fight in the UFC? Like, yes. So she took the call. And she was game. It was a competitive fight for most on. I think Aldis just kind of edged her in every single round. Most of the striking, too. You know, that was the only one takedown in the whole fight. On the floor, that's where Vanessa would have a shot at winning, you know, obviously. And with her grappling, and she just couldn't get it. This is a classic armbar from guard waiting to happen.
Setting it up, though.
Yeah, and it just didn't come through. Yeah, JJ won this. You know, again, it wasn't no 10-8s in there, but clearly she won every round in this fight.
All right.
What not to do with your
heel? No,
man, played footsies and everything on the wrong side.
This is the lesson in what not to do when you get heel hooked. And if you're doing an ankle lock, you got to put a bend in the knee. Yeah. A straight ankle lock is not going to hurt nobody. You got to bend that knee, bring that heel towards the hip, and then get that angle to put some torque on the knee. Jamal Emmers versus Pat Sabatini. I was high on Emmers in this fight, and it looked like he came out early. It was rocking Sabatini. It looked like my pick was looking good until it went down to the floor. Yeah. And Sabatini, who is a brown belt, I think, she's a brown belt. High level MMA grappler, really good for sure. I would
pick Sabatini. I thought he'd wear on Emmers eventually, and Emmers might get some backstabs or something.
Well, on the floor, Sabatini had the edge. Like, we saw that right when he went to the fucking heel. But standing up, Emmers should have went to Emmers, who went toe-to-toe and arguably, in my opinion, beat Giga in their fight. Go back and watch it if you haven't. It was a split decision for Giga, and I gave it to Emmers. And Emmers is a better wrestler, so I thought, how is Sabatini going to get this fight to the ground? And Emmers kind of took it to himself. He wanted to go there.
He was content to sit there and try to play.
Yeah, try to play. He had that heel hook. It doesn't take much, and he popped. But to his credit, he didn't tap. He did not tap. He popped his ACL. He might have gave up 6-8 months of his life, but he lost 17. 17 is a 2 in a row for him. Making a name at that 145, working his way up the top.
All right, let's.
And we opened the night with kind of a close.
Guido came out. Yeah, Guido Canetti versus Mana Martinez. This was supposed to be a showcase for Mana Martinez. You know, Contender Series vet. Lost to Draco Rodriguez in the Contender Series, but big time striker. Awkward striking for sure.
He likes that like left kick, left hook.
Yeah.
It spams it a lot.
Guido Canetti did not look 40-something years old. No. He was fast, explosive, was kicking hard leg kicks. Cut Mana early. But Mana was able to weather the storm and edge out a split decision. It could have went either way. I think Mana did have the edge on the card too as well. He was kind of pushing it forward a little bit. Once he kind of got away from his leg kicks, Guido kind of slowed down a little bit as well. And good for Mana coming off the loss of his coach.
Yeah, dealing with that. You know how much of his head was in it.
Had a bad weight cut. And who knows where he was emotionally, able to edge out a win. And he barely could, like, when they were interviewing him, he couldn't even talk. He was basically sobbing during his interview with his coach getting that win. So hopefully this gets him going forward and get another 135 versus maybe him and Tercios.
Yeah, why not?
Why not have Man and Tercios go at it?
All right,
That's
the card.
Solid card.
How was the whiskey and wagers?
Absolutely shit.
DraftKings, that took a bomb.
Definitely shit. The DraftKings was looking really, really good for me. I had a bunch of lineups that going in the main event. All I needed was Edson Barbosa to do his thing. I would have cashed heartedly on a few of them, and he got lights out. So basically, ended up just taking a bath on DraftKings. Didn't play much in the book. My 2 bets I laid was Manny Martinez by KO, which he did not get that KO finish on Kennedy. And I put I jumped bet on my cousin to get a sub victory, and that didn't come out as well either. If she was going to do it, she was going to do it by submission, and she didn't quite get it. So yeah, I did not have a big day. My picks heads up for 5 and 7, I believe. 7 and 5.
7 and 5.
That's maybe 5 and 7. Putting Tony up 2 on the year.
2 on the year. Nice booty hole getting wet.
It's a lot of fights. We got hundreds.
And a lot of hair in that ass crack.
Oh yeah. Well, who's gonna lose? He's gotta actually do it. So he's gotta go in there. I ain't wiping that day either. If I have to get my ass on wax, I ain't wiping that day. I'm coming in. I'm coming in hot. I'm coming in hot. Get that peanut butter off the shag carpet.
I might outsource it. Anybody want to make some money?
Put it up on Grindr. I bet you get a bunch.
Hey, that probably get a lot of views, right? Yeah. I'm all about the views. I'll sell my butthole for the views. We had Tony put the lead back on 2. Again, luckily, the calendar keeps flipping. Another week, another card coming through, and again, we got like 150 fights at least before this whole thing's said and over. So it might go up and down a few times. It's all about that. December is going to start getting a little nervous. Like we can know, like Thanksgiving, that's when your butthole's going to start quivering a little bit, right? Getting watertight, because that's when it's going to start getting a little bit more real. It's like a baseball game in April. Yeah, it sucks to lose, but you got 100 of those motherfuckers left, you know?
All right, let's talk about UFC Vegas 36.
Fun. I've been waiting to see Darren Till for a long time, man. Last fight, Whitaker? It was a good outing, too. Competitive fight.
He had some momentum going into this.
Well, Brunson's playing his role. This is a young, up-and-coming guy. Let me end his hype train again, right? Till seems like he's much older than he is, and almost like
hold on 1 second. I don't know if you guys saw this tweet from this thing. Oh, wait, that's not it. Here it is. So Darren Till made fun of Bisping for only having one eye. And then Bisping says, I'd rather have one than 2 that are so close together.
That's good.
He does kind of look like a South Park character, right?
English bastard.
He's like a Canadian South Park character.
I thought that was pretty good. Anyway, back to UFC Vegas 36.
So, yeah, Darren Till's got kind of skyrocketed into that title picture, and it makes it seem like he's older and more washed than he really is. You know, guys, he got the Tyron Woodley a little bit too early, right? If he was probably a fight later, he might have beat Tyron Woodley if he's the welterweight champion. But moved up to middleweight, had a tough, again, not fighting any, he's not losing any scrub. He lost to Tyron Woodley, he lost to Robert Whitaker, and he lost to Masvidal.
So Masvidal and Tyron smoked him at 170.
Right.
And then he goes up.
Well, no, Tyron choked him out.
Yeah, he rocked him too.
Yeah, he choked him out, though. He choked him out, and then Masvidal iced him quick in Manchester. And then that's the whole day the 2-piece and soda came in.
One of the loudest bodies hitting the canvas I've heard in a while.
Yeah, but then again, like I said, he went afterwards. He went to the bag and beat up Leon Edwards, too.
Yeah.
It was a fun night that night. But Till coming back, I kind of like him in this fight. He should have the reach advantage. We know how it's going to be. Brunson's going to try to get this fight to the ground. Kind of the same game plan Brunson did to Kevin Holland. Right? He's going to have a similar game plan. We get this guy down and Edmund Shabazian. So the one advantage Brunson's going to have is one wrestling over, obviously, but I've been training for this fight for the last year or so. I've been fighting this guy, the young up-and-coming striker. I've been fighting this fight for 3 years now. I'm here for it, and Brunson seems to not want to give up that 5th spot.
I thought kind of like Brunson's going to win this fight. I don't know. I think it's going to be how successful he is with the wrestling. That first round.
I'm not going to say Brunson has no shot to win this fight, or I'm not shocked if I come in here next Sunday and Brunson won the fight. But I feel Till has been fighting tougher competition for sure, and I think he's going to get back on track here and get that win.
If you keep it on the feet, he should.
Right, he should win. Again, it's a good matchup. Either guy can come on top, but I'm definitely leading Till right now. If we were picking today, I'm definitely playing Darren Till.
All right. Aspinall
No, Pavlovich is actually out for visa issues, but it's going to be Sergey Spivak, which I think might be a tougher fight for us.
I think so too.
It's going to be interesting.
There's some grappling involved.
But Aspinall can grapple.
Yeah. He's going to have to.
He has some grappling in him, has some good hands.
Last fight, right?
I have trouble with this fight. I think both guys are very similar level, very similar, style, very similar sizes. Like, some heavyweights are bigger than others.
Aspinall's got the hands advantage, I think. But I think, I don't know. I haven't seen him grapple enough, but Spivak likes to grapple.
Now, Spivak, who did Spivak just beat? I know he beat Vander, but somebody after that.
I thought Vander was the most recent.
No, he had one that he was unimpressive. Olenek.
Olenek?
I think he struggled with Olenek.
I'm pulling it up here.
Yeah, I think it was Alexei Olenek, and he was not very. He won the fight, but it was not impressive at all.
Who are we looking at?
Sergey Spivak. Yeah, Alexei Olenek. It was a kind of a lackluster decision, performance. So again, you can't do fighting or math or anything like that. But Aspinall's going to come out.
I think I'm going to go with Aspinall in this fight. I think he's going to finish him.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, if Spivak gets his fight in the ground, if Spivak can get that chest to chest, that 100 kilos on him, it could be a long night for Aspinall. We're going to find out. This is me Aspinall's biggest test. I'm going to go to Aspinall too. Let's stick with the UK, this UK theme for the day. We got another UK fighter. One of Tony's favorites coming up later too.
This is a close one.
This one I have no fun. I cannot trust Khalil Roundtree. I guess Khalil for sure.
Yeah.
Both are coming off 2 losses.
And you don't know what you're going to get.
Bukowskis basically won his last fight, I think, against Prince Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Or was it Olivia?
Yeah.
Alicia?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Olivia. That was a good tight fight. Split decision. It was a tight fight. I lean into Bukowskis here just because I'm not putting my faith in Khalil Roundtree.
Yeah. You know what you're going to get with Khalil.
Every time, that means he's probably going to win because every time I pick him, he gets his ass beat. And every time I am against him, he wins the fight. Like the Eric Anders fight where he fucking looked like the best Muay Thai fighter of all time. Where is that Khalil Roundtree?
I don't know.
Where did he go? He looks like, this guy's going to make noise and maybe take a push for a title after that fight. And then he just disappeared after that. So again, this might be Khalil Roundtree's last fight if he doesn't get this win. He might be in the PFL next year trying to win another title.
All right, keep
That's
going.
what I'm interested in.
This is
Let's see if Patty is what they say he is.
This is no
right?
easy first fight.
Well, especially because Patty likes to roll and grapple, and Luigi's more than comfortable down there.
Who beat Benjamin in his last fight?
Perez,
Yeah,
it was a split decision.
I think it's one I kind of felt like Benjamin.
I thought so too.
Yeah,
and I had a lot of Benjamin draft that day too. That could have swayed me, but he's not that old. He's not like an old man coming in for Patty. Patty making his UFC debut, highly regarded out of Cage Warriors. He's got the rock star type haircut and attitude. He talks all this shit. He is what do they call it? What's that British underground? They call it the style. Like they basically people that dress like fucking Austin Powers. What the fuck is it? It's like whatever. I'll think of it and I'll try to get back to it. He has that kind of look and style too, with the John Lennon glasses and all that type of shit. There's a certain fucking subgenre that they call himself. I think it's mod. But anyway, Paddy Pimblett can knock people out. He can tap you out. Loud, brash. UFC wants this guy to win the fight. He is going to be the next big star if he does pull it off. Kind of the same fucking light of Conor McGregor coming from over there with a big loud.
He's already going for Habib, right? Yeah,
he's not as flossy like with money as, but he's just fucking brash. And he's like a combination of Darren Till and Conor McGregor, kind of somewhere in the middle of those two with their talking in their mouth. Versus Luigi Veranemi can fight. He's a legit fighter. So this is a toss up. I'm going to lead to Paddy Pimblett. I think that he's been waiting for this moment his whole life. I think he is for real. Cage Warriors produced some stars. Right? It seems like that's not like in the rest of these smaller organizations. You come out of Cage Warriors, you seem to be pretty fucking good.
I think the Zion thing, I don't think Benjamin lost, but it was a close fight.
It was close for sure.
But I think that kind of helped Paddy Pimblett.
Yeah, it's going to be a grappling match. I think it's going to be a competitive grappling match. As Paddy Pimblett, I'm not going to put all my chips on him, or I'm not hitching my flag to him yet. But I'm going to buy the hype for this fight and say he's going to get it done. But Luigi's going to give him a test. He's coming in to get tested for sure.
All right, next fight.
This is I was looking at this earlier. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
like
know.
every time I want to back Moreno, he shits on me. He's another fucking Roundtree, right? He lights up who is Reese McKee, like 500 strikes in a fight. Then he gets fucking beat by Anthony Pettis. Then he fucking ends
But has he had stiffer competition?
Yes, absolutely.
So that's kind of like why I'm more on the side of Moreno here.
Well, here's the thing: you have two guys who aren't very good. So who's going to be a little bit better that night, right? Not bad either. Two mediocre guys. Who's going to be a little bit better that night?
I don't know the home field advantage. I'm going to go that
I think that's where I was a little bit leaning to. Because again, maybe a little bit of recent bias, and he just fucking ended, fucking got what? Yeah. Fucking made it ungracefully. not a graceful ending for him.
All right, let's go prelim.
Here you go. Tony's other favorite fighter, Molly Meatball McCann versus Ji Young Kim. Fire Fist, it's funny because she's a grappler. Versus Molly Meatball. Molly Meatball is the person you want to cheer for. You definitely hope for the best. She's just fucking small, man.
I think Ji Young Kim is going to tease her.
If
she can't get the fight to the ground, she's going to get
But Kim might want to go to the ground too.
No, Kim wants to stand.
I saw her a picture wearing her fucking gi. All right.
Well, they're MMA fighters.
Not many MMA fighters wear gis.
It's true.
Most of them train no gi.
But I think she's gonna piece her up.
Well, she won that fight by hook to the body.
Yeah.
Decision split.
Her last fight was against
Ish.
Her recent loss was.
She lost to Grasso and the little shit ring though.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah, she lost to those two. Whereas Meatball just lost what's her name with a P? Procopio. Who's no Natalia Santos. Those aren't bad losses.
Yeah, I mean, I think if Molly McCann is able to bully her, yeah, but if she can't, I think Ji Young Kim's gonna box her up. What is the tapology consensus? Okay.
It's a tight one.
Yeah.
It's a tight one. I am leaning Kim just because of the size, man. I think Molly McCann is too
10
small.
inch reach advantage.
Yeah, Molly McCann's too small. Yeah, 10 exactly. And only 3 inches taller, but 10-inch reach advantage. Molly.
Somebody try to get out of 115.
Man, she should. But she's called Meatball. I'll give you the Meatball at 115, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
All right, let's keep going. More prelim fights.
Dolce. He's kind of
Dolce. I'm going Marc-Andre Barriault here. Dolce is a finisher bust guy, and he's going to be so fucking small compared to Barriault, and Barriault don't get finished.
Yeah, and he's got more ways to win the fight.
Yeah, I think Dolce gets fucking gassed there. He's 36 years old. He's only got 13 fights. So late starter. He's 5'8" at 205.
He's got to come out guns blazing.
He's got a longer reach. He does have a longer reach, but it's still swinging up. It's still swinging up. Was it 5 inches? 5 inches taller than him? I'm going. Yeah, I think again he don't finish. It's one thing about Marc-Andre Barriault. He don't get finished. I think he was the guy that fought fucking. He just beat somebody his last fight knockout. Yeah, knocked him out late in the fight. And he won here. This was actually a win that got marked out because he got juice ball. He got juice ball. He popped after a knockout. So yeah, I think Andre gets it. Marc-Andre Barriault.
All right, let's keep going.
I'm going to Ariane Lipsky.
Mandy Baum versus the Queen of Violence. Ariane Lipsky. I don't even know who Mandy Baum is.
She's undefeated. I think this is kind of they're trying to give Lipsky a win or you're gone.
I mean, she's
that's why I'm picking her. That's totally why I'm picking her. I don't know much about Mandy Baum, but I know a lot about Ariane Lipsky.
Yeah, I'm going with Lipsky. Let's get Lipsky.
She tends to block with her face, but
let's keep her Lipsky.
Baum is #1 in Germany, apparently. Is that what that means?
Yeah, how many people fight there?
7-0. They still have her as a favorite.
Interesting. I'm about to do some research on this Baum.
She only has 7 fights. Lipsky has shown promise. She's fought better competition.
All right, Marcelo Rojo.
This is going to be a fucking banger. This one I hear probably a candidate for fight of the night for sure. J-Rod coming off his knockout loss to Davey.
Where are they fighting at? What weight?
135.
Is this
It's at 135. Yeah, Rojo's coming down. Rojo had a great. This next fight's gonna be after this, so we'll talk about that. A great showing against Charles Jourdain.
Is he the one that does the T-Rex celebration?
Yeah, and he was fucking beating Charles Jourdain until Jourdain fucking lit him up in round number 3 that fight. I am going to lean Jonathan Martinez in this fight off experience and not having to be. This is his first time that Rojo's at this weight class.
Yeah, he's coming off that knockout loss to my boy, though.
Yeah.
Baby Grant.
Yeah, he is. That's how I opened the whole discussion with that. You remember that?
Oh man, I don't know. I could do some more.
Yeah, I just think Rojo cutting the weight might. It's his first time doing it. We haven't seen him at that weight class yet. I think Davey Grant. Yeah, Davey Grant definitely knocked out J Mart. That J Mart was winning that fight. Rocked Davey Grant. I think he's going to get Rojo out in this fight. Well, but it's going to be a fun one. Speaking of Rojo's last opponent, Charles Jourdain versus Julian Erosa. This is an interesting fucking fight, and here's why. Charles Jourdain is a slow starter. Very slow starter, lets people hang around. Erosa is the exact opposite. He comes out like a house of fire, and he has knockout finishing power. I think Erosa beats him in this fight.
Erosa? Was it close to it? Who beat him
his last fight? He got knocked out.
3-1 Joy?
Yeah. Yeah, and we were at Outback when it happened, remember? Yeah. I think if Jourdain comes out like he came out in that third round versus Marcelo Rojo, he wins this fight. But he has not shown that he comes out hungry. When during that Rojo fight, Rojo's headed, they were going back and forth. It was a really close fight, and in between rounds 2 and 3, Jourdain's talking to his fucking corner. He goes, "I'm the champion. I'm gonna be a champion. I'm gonna be a champion." He's supposed to be like Air Jourdain. He's supposed to be the next great thing, the next GSP from Canada. And he turned it on in that round 3. He's like, "Okay, you do look like you're gonna be a champion one day," because he fucked Rojo's face up in one round. It looked like he got beat up for 10 years. But Erosa's gonna come out and try to end it early. We saw with Erosa versus my boy Landwehr. Where Landwehr got knocked out 3 times and Rosa got knocked down once. So the crazy ass first round. This is gonna be fireworks early. He's gonna force. He's either gonna get a knockout early, or he's gonna pull that greatness out of Jourdain that people say that's there. And I think Erosa gets it done.
Yeah, I like Erosa. This isn't size.
But I won't be
in the drive.
I won't be sad if Jourdain wins. It means he is what they say he is.
And the first fight of the night.
Another good one here. I like Jack Shore in this fight. Undefeated wrestling machine.
Just cardio.
Another guy out of Cage Fury. Coming out there. I'm kind of sticking with the UK except for B-Bomb. Same with the UK. The Welsh bantamweight in that bantamweight division just until Ludwig Schoenlein is making his UFC debut. He is 9-1 coming out of Europe, Eastern Europe. That means he's probably fighting some big boys over there in KSW and what's the other ACB and ACA. Well, it used to be ACB. Okay. And KSW. There's a bunch of talent out there for sure. So I'm guessing he's gonna be ready for some wrestling. Fighting in Eastern Europe, you're right. Definitely have some grappling training, but again, until someone stops Shore, beats Shore, I'm gonna roll the undefeated Shore.
Some place called artillery. Is that like artillery? But I don't know. I'm going with the tank. I mean, the name's Tank.
All right. Yeah.
Shore mixed martial arts.
Yeah, the own place.
Well, so that wraps up that card.
Our last card for a couple weeks too.
Right, and then let's move on to weekly drama.
Oh,
this was
sick.
I heard y'all. I watched.
Violent.
I was watching one of the podcasts. They talked. I went back and watched.
Finishes her off in a kick.
Yeah,
it starts off with overhand, right?
She's like out right here when she hits her with the left hook.
Danielle Taylor knocks
she's
out.
Oh! God!
She got her out twice.
This is unnecessary.
Oh yeah, where she's like
super necessary. What are you talking about? That's super necessary.
That's super necessary.
Oh girl.
The referee feels bad.
Rocks her, and then she's
boom! Oh God!
That's murder. We witnessed a murder.
That was great.
That was pretty rough.
Wearing workout clothes too, right? I can see a member in the studio working out like that.
All right, we already talked about Bisping and Darren Till.
Yeah.
What else we got here?
We got Edgar and Vera.
Chito Vera.
That's the story. That is a story. One, they got an interesting fight. It's a big fight for Chito Vera. Last time he tried to step up and fight a legend, he lost. He got hugged for a full round against Aldo. But the reason that Marlon Vera got this opportunity was kind of fucked up because all the 6 degrees of depth separation. This was supposed to be Sean O'Malley. And Sean O'Malley specifically said, if I'm going to be fighting on a pay-per-view card in New York, fighting Frankie Edgar, you better come out and pay me. What you're offering ain't enough. And UFC Cheeto Vera. He said, "I'll take that fight for that much money." And it kind of shows this whole pay problem, right? You have the stars and these up and coming guys that are trying to make these statements. I want to step out. I'm not going to fight for this. But there's always a Cheeto Vera. There's always this guy. There's always, a Derek Lewis will step in. There's always that guy that'll step in and take that fight. And until they all kind of band together somewhat, the fighter pay is never going to get better. It's going to be right where it's at. And you can't really blame a guy like Cheeto, too, because you have so much time. You got to maximize your opportunities when they come. Cheeto probably wouldn't get this opportunity if it wasn't for somebody stepping out of the way. So I don't know who to side with in the whole thing as far as that, I get where Sean O'Malley's coming from, and somebody's got to step up, like John Jones is supposed to be doing right now. But there's always that guy to step in, and when you're that guy who's kind of pushed to the back burner, if John Jones is accepting that money, you're not even getting called. If Sean O'Malley takes it, no one's thinking about Cheeto Vera. You're gonna fight some, UFC Vegas 48 against some guy we don't know. So what side do you choose there? Cheeto's seizing his opportunity, and Sean O'Malley's trying to maximize fighter pay. It's a tough struggle. I don't think either one's right or wrong. But yeah, it's going to be a fun fight for sure.
Who's winning that fight?
Frankie Edgar.
Frankie Edgar. He should. As long as he doesn't get fucking randomly kneed in the face.
Right. And I don't see Cheeto doing anything like that. Cheeto struggled with Davey Grant. I thought Davey Grant was beating Cheeto Vera. Tony thinks Davey Grant was beating Cheeto Vera for sure. Frankie Edgar, beat Pedro Munoz, who I think is a much better fighter than Cheeto Vera is. And I think Frankie Edgar, this is guts out of win. That's how the decision win against Cheeto.
All right, let's keep going. What do we got here? Oh, this is just a front page. We got a fight tonight.
Yeah.
Or a
Jake
circus
Paul.
Show tonight.
Jake Paul ends Tyrone Woodley.
Yeah, Jake Paul finishes off Tyrone Woodley.
Did you see the size difference between these two? And that made me really like, damn,
it's a boxing match.
He is smart picking these fights. It's a boxing match. Woodley has power. If Woodley does connect with him, he will knock Jake out. But he throws those fucking looping hooks, those strikes that if you miss, you can go like grapple. He's used to having, if I get rocked, I can go shoot it on the leg and take the guy down and catch it up. Whereas the guy who just boxes and he's much fucking bigger than him. He's he's a sharp boxer. At this point, you can't knock Jake Paul's boxing ability. He's the greatest in the world. No, but he's a fucking capable boxer, and he's going to knock out Tyrone Woodley.
$60 pay-per-view for this nonsense.
Yeah, definitely not streaming
and a couple of the undercard, like Tommy Fury.
Tommy Fury needs to fight Jake Paul. Amanda Serrano, probably UFC veteran, right? He was talking big about getting her opportunity, getting big money. Yeah, I think I'm more interested in this fight than the Askren one. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah,
it's a bigger challenge. Sure. It's a bigger challenge for sure. Again, a tie. I think if it goes a little bit past the second or third round, Tyron's gonna be so gassed. He's gonna be so gassed, and he's gonna get cooked and get knocked out because, again, he's older. He's got more muscle on him. You know, Jake Paul's bigger. Tyron's got a lot of muscle on that body. He's jacked as fuck, and that muscle eats up oxygen like fucking Pac-Man. I think eventually that Jake Paul's in this line on the chin.
But we all just want Jake Paul to get knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
I think that's going to be it.
What a fucking fight that would be. All right, then a huge UFC 268.
Kind of a shocker.
Can't wait for this
I was looking
fight.
forward to seeing color spars at each other.
Yeah, that's the problem with the rankings, right? I mean, usually a person
meter on the bush. We know
it's got to be the Chinese market. Yeah. Almost praise the Chinese, right? Because why? Weili had one title defense. She's not this great reigning champion. Her win was borderline fluky against Jessica Andrade. She caught her early, Jessica Andrade kind of was a fluke win versus Rose.
It's a fighter who traveled fucking 12 different time zones.
Right.
Different food than what she was
exactly.
Had to make her weight cut and all that shit.
All that shit. And then you got iced.
Yeah.
Iced.
But this whole card is just
outstanding.
Incredible. Here, Usman, Colby 2, Chandler, Gaethje, Luke Rockhold, Strickland, Barrier, Edgar.
I think Rockhold beat Strickland. I think Aldana gets
Quinta.
I like Quinta coming back. It's the down season in real estate. Bobby Green's gonna beat his ass. Bobby Green's gonna beat hell, but Alquin is not gonna fall. But yeah, it's gonna be an amazing card if it all happens.
Usman, Namajunas, Gaethje. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm never gonna bet against Kamaru's money yet.
No, fuck no. He's gonna beat Kobe Covington probably
I'll tell you right now my picks for the card. Usman, Nunes, Gaethje. I think Rocco will beat Strickland. I think Edgar beats Vera. Aldana gets Serenity, and Bobby Reed gets fucking.
Lock in your lineups, guys.
There you go, right there.
I'd say pretty much in agreement. I have to look at the Rocco Strickland.
We know what Strickland's going to do. He's going to try to box Rocco. Rocco can kick his head off or take him down.
All right, what else we got here? That might be it. We saw this. And what is this? Oh, this was the thing. So that's...
Sounds like he'd be one of your cousins right there, Jack Shorter, right?
It kind of looks like Sandhagen in a way, too, right? Well, who also can kind of look like I am Welsh.
Yeah, there you go. Their blood's in there somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Well, so then next week we'll review Vegas 36
times, and then there's an off week.
Is that what it is?
To follow there's no card on the 13th, is it?
We need to knock it out because Joe's going out of town,
Oh yeah, I'm out of town.
We'll preview the 25th one.
Right.
Because I'm going to be out of town that weekend, the 25th.
Well, we'll talk about it next week. So we can do. But always make sure you guys, listeners, are if you want to get a little help with your DraftKings and stuff, always the day before, day of, we put our picks for
DraftKings, our heads up picks overall.
Instagram, Twitter.
Yeah, so follow us on all those IG pages and stuff if you want a little bit of help with your.
I didn't tweet as much. It's fantasy football season, everybody. So I'm doing all kinds of drafts right now, so I didn't tweet as much during the card. I did like 3 or 4 best ball drafts today already.
Yeah, so we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Peace.
Peace.